First punt of the game for Mark Vassett, 24-year-old former construction worker from Australia, and a 24-year-old freshman. The speedy Keyshawn Helton waits at his 14. He'll let it bounce. A touchback after a 51-yard kick.
CU fans, Australian punter Mark Vassett here. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here at the University of Colorado. Let's go, let's bring it in! Come on,
What's the old Australian?
What was the word of the day today? What was the word of today? Work. I know what work is. I worked my ass off for 6 years in construction. It should be easy to come out here and work. Should be easy. TCU working. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do today? What are we going to do today? Okay, come on. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Work.
6 years, how much money you made?
Hold on! Here we go!
Oh, my ass off 6 years construction. Should be easy, mate.
The Australian punter, Mark Vassett's hometown is listed as Melbourne. According to Wikipedia, Melbourne is the capital of the Australian state of Victoria and the second most populous city in Australia. The name generally refers to the metropolitan name known as Greater Melbourne, but the name is also used specifically for the city of Melbourne, based around its central business area. It has a population of over 5 million, mostly residing in the east side of the city center, and those residing there are referred to as Melburnians, often referred to as Australia's cultural capital. Melbourne is recognized globally as a center of sport, music, theater, comedy, art, literature, film, and television. However, according to an MLive article, which is a media group that produces newspapers in the state of Michigan, published on September 2nd, 2020, when Mark Vassett was originally committed to Michigan State University, Mark's hometown is actually Warragul. Warragul is a town in Victoria, Australia, 63 miles southeast of Melbourne. The town had a population of 19,856 people. A typical workday for Vassett consisted of leaving his home at 4 a.m. to make the 90-minute drive to work in Melbourne. Vassett graduated from high school in 2014 and at the time hadn't settled on a career. He had a few jobs, including making cabinets at his uncle's business, before becoming a glazier, where he'd make shower doors, windows, and almost anything from glass. Mark Vassett played Australian rules football from ages 5 to 14 at Berwick Junior Football Club before going to Ellingbank and District Football League, which is based near his rural home in Warragul. Mark Vassett knew he needed a change, which was the University of Louisville. Vassett wasn't satisfied with the path he was on with Australian football, and he didn't want to be a glacier for the rest of his life. Soon, he found Pro Kick Australia, which was his connection to the University of Louisville. According to the May 11, 2020 Detroit Free Press article, Pro Kick's head kicking coach contacts college coaches in the United States with film and background information on everyone he trains. Once a school reaches out with an offer, that's typically where his apprentice ends up. The Australian recruiting process rests in the hands of college coaches, not players. They do not collect offers, Smith said. They commit. The power should be with the coaches. I understand it with some of the quarterbacks, but we're on the bottom of the food chain. When Michigan State comes calling, you don't even have to think about it. Once MSU offered Vassett, he was put in contact with the special teams coordinator. The veteran assistant coach answered all of Vassett's questions and helped him get virtually acclimated to MSU. I have never stepped foot in the United States, Vassett said, so a lot about the college system will be new to me. But from what I have researched and heard from others, it will be the most amazing place to spend the next 4 years of my life. After a while, however, more college scholarship offers started coming in. Vassett, originally committed to Michigan State, decided to play for Louisville in 2021. In his 2 seasons at Louisville, Mark Vassett averaged 43.2 yards per punt on 100 punts, with a long of 73, 6 touchbacks, 33 fair catches, 36 inside the 20, and 16 of 50-plus yards. He earned honorable mention All-ACC as a sophomore in 2022, punting 52 times for an average of 44.6 yards per punt, setting a new Louisville record. He also had a long of 68 yards, 4 touchbacks, 10 fair catches, 19 inside the 20, and 10 punts of 50-plus yards. He is currently on the watch list for the Ray Guy Award. The Ray Guy Award, given to the top punter in college, has been earned by 6 Pro Kick alumni: Adam Corsick from Rutgers, Max Duffy from Kentucky, Michael Dixon from Texas, Mitchell Wisnowski from Utah, Tom Hackett from Utah, and Tom Hornsey from Memphis. With Mark, it was apparent early on that something special was brewing. John Smith, Pro Kick's head kicking coach, told the Detroit Free Press on May 11, 2020, "We knew we had something really special, and he just started showing us where he was going to take it." According to the Detroit Free Press article, Pro Kick is designed to guide Australian punters and kickers to full-ride college scholarships. The tryouts to be accepted into the program comes with rigorous on-field performance marks, a player must pass. Vassett did so with flying colors and quickly emerged as a college-ready talent. As a freshman in 2021, Vassett punted 48 times for an average of 41.9 yards, a long of 73, 2 touchbacks, 23 fair catches, 17 inside the 20, and 6 of 50-plus yards. The 41.9 per punt average, his freshman season, ranks 8th in Louisville history. The 73-yard punt is the 6th longest in Louisville history. In high school, he was a 3-star prospect by the recruiting services. 24/7 Composite listed him as the number 7 punter in the class and number 4 player from Australia.
We've done this, hasn't it?
Questions for Coach? Coach, just Dave, on your thoughts of being back out there and having fans actually there.
Oh yeah, well, that was awesome too, to be able to see people, you know, at the practice there, and it felt normal. It felt like you know, before the pandemic. It really did out there on the field, and our guys have been putting a lot of great work in, really, you know, since we got back in January, and you know, finally to be back here and practice. What a great feeling. You know, I love this sport of football. I started when I was 7 years old, and to be able to come out here in the fall and start camp and to practice, it's awesome. And what a great group. And I'm really excited about this team, excited about our guys. They're fun to be around. They go hard. They care about each other. You know, all those things translate, man, into success. And so it's been a good ride so far. And after day one, you know, excited about what we saw out there on the field. A lot of guys. To me, that's one of the things that stood out. You know, I think we've got 116 guys that participated today in camp, and that's a lot of bodies. Had a lot of newcomers, first time being out here at practice. So a lot of new faces for us to learn, and but it was fun. And you know, again, you know, we got a long ways to go, but after the first day, very encouraged of what we saw. And you know, we got a young football team this year. I looked at the roster with some guys getting that year back, and so on and so forth. You know, we have, I think, 80 freshmen, as you think about it. You know, 116 and 80 freshmen, and these are walk-on and scholarships. So if you look at it that way, it's the most freshmen I've ever had on a team. But I do feel like we got a lot of experienced players, though. I mean, there's a lot of guys that's played a lot of football, and you know, so that part, you know, is kind of a little bit different, I think. But anyway, excited about the start and ready to get this camp going.
Hey, Scott, you got a pretty new look secondary with safeties.
Yeah.
Obviously, Spags here. What have you first day out with that group? What have you seen from that group, and kind of what do you expect from them?
Yeah, you know, definitely new guys back there in the secondary. You feel pretty solid at corner, I think, you know, but in the safety position, got some new guys. Chandler Jones is going to be working both corner and safety. You know, he's a guy that's played a lot of ball, and he can handle that, and I think he gives us another dynamic of guy to be able to use and cover situations at safety. You know, so you know, it's hard to tell first. You know, just out there the first day, we'll get on the film and start looking. I know we're rotating a lot of guys at safety, going to get a lot of looks at a lot of guys there. And they're young, you know, and young and new, both. So I think, you know, really the most experienced guy will be Duncan, you know, but he's new to us. So yeah, that'll be a position, I think, as we look through camp. You know, that's one that'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds and who'll be getting the playing time.
Scott, what are the challenges of, you have like 40-something newcomers, the challenges of putting all those guys together, and a couple of them that just got here this week?
Yeah, it is a challenge, you know, really, and for them and us, you know, really, because, I mean, they're learning everything. This is all new to them. The terminology's new, the schedule's new. You know, this first time these guys have been in a big-time program, and so that's all new. And then, you know, we're trying to learn them as well. We're trying to learn their skill sets. We've obviously seen their film, but to see them out here, how quickly are they able to grasp it? You know, that's going to determine how many reps they're going to get. So that's with all these newcomers, you know, and I think it's that way every year with the newcomers, but this year just have a lot more.
One of the newcomers you brought in was Joe Gordon from Syracuse. What
Yep.
did you see from him who you thought would strengthen your linebacker room?
Well, I think the first impression was 2 years ago when he took the ball 80 yards down the sideline and scored. He had a big game against us, you know, and he had a good game also in kickoff return. And last year, started the first 3 games for Syracuse, and then he had an injury and was missed the rest of the season. So he's a guy that brings experience. He's played in the ACC. He's a fast player. You know, we wanted to bring another speed guy in at running back. And I really feel like we've got a lot of good depth there at running back. But one of the things that kind of stuck in our mind was last year, how we ended the season. You know, we're down numbers in running backs, and so you know, it's one position we like to run the football where we make sure we have to have some guys. We like the fact that he can bring some added dimension in the return game as well. And you know, and he's a guy, he hadn't been here, he just got here, so he's got to get himself in shape. You know, and that's going to take time with him. But he brings some valuable experience, and he's a guy who's got 3 years left too. You know, so that's another thing that we liked about him.
Have you noticed a different mindset with the team at this point this year compared to maybe coming in the ball camp last year, taking away the COVID situation?
Yeah, well, I think so. I just think we're a tighter bunch. You know, I just think the guys, so many things throughout this spring and summer that brought them together. I mean, it was just accountability. And I've mentioned this, we love a player-led team, but the accountability they have for each other is different, you know, and that's a different feeling. We felt it when we first got back in January. So that's carried on throughout this whole semester. We got to continue that on throughout camp. You know, and I think where that comes into play is when you face adversity. I think you're able to get through it because you guys care about each other, and they're going to help bring each other through that.
One more. Scott, when we spoke with Vince back when there was the new fan area opening, he mentioned he thinks the team is underrated coming this year, considering where it was picked.
Yeah.
Media days. Is that something you pay attention to or really think about at all?
No, I don't pay attention to it. I mean, you're picked wherever you're picked, right? I've been on teams that's picked first and been on teams we picked last. Our first year we were picked last. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter. You know, the way you pick teams is how they did the year before. You know, if you won a bunch of games, you're going to be picked high. If you didn't win very many games, you're going to pick low. I mean, it's just the way it works. So you want to be there at the end, you know. So, you know, how much work we put into it today, tomorrow, so on and so forth. And it's all about the preparation. You know, when we get to the game, we play on that Monday night in Atlanta, you know, we'll know how much preparation we put in and how well we were prepared to go into that game. So I don't worry about preseason stuff. You know, we want to be there at the top at the end of the season. All right. Thanks, guys.
Dangerous Jerry and Ely is the deep man for Ole Miss running back. They'll use him all over the field. Rock Travelstead will put toe to leather to get us underway on this Labor Day night from Atlanta. And the flag is for a sideline warning.
And Lane's not here, so don't blame him.
Yeah,
don't blame him.
Yeah, I'm told it was against Louisville. So
easy social media.
The first time it's not a problem. Louisville was last in the ACC in punting last year, so they did what all teams struggling with punting do. They go to pro kick in Australia, and they found their guy. He's about to punt it away. First time he's kicked in American football in a game. It's Mark Vassett, a 24-year-old freshman from Melbourne. And Sanders will come up and make the fair catch. Braylon Sanders, the receiver, and Ole Miss will have it back at their own 36-yard line. And there's a flag down back.
During the kick, holding receiving team number 26, 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick, first down.
So Ole Miss will back up a little bit. Here's what we've got in store.
It's fourth down, and the Cardinals will punt. So defensively, Florida State now has forced 3 consecutive punts after Louisville scored on its first 5 drives.
Louisville's play calling on first and second downs become too predictable. And I don't know why they've taken the game out of Malik Cunningham's hands. He was throwing it so well early. That intermediate passing game was hitting for you. Now you've been rushing on first and second down into a wall of Florida State defenders.
Vassett to kick. Helton waits near his own 40. This will chase him back. He lets it bounce. Inside the 10, rolling inside the 5. Vassett flips the field with a 72-yard punt.
And Anish, that's on the return man here. Keyshawn Helton misread that. He saw low flight angle for the ball, and he ran way up. This thing went right back over him, and you saw the yards after the roll on that. So him not reading that the correct way cost that team. You hear special teams coaches yelling all the time, hidden yardage. That's right there in the game in plain sight.
Akin to an outfielder in baseball on a line drive. You take that first step in, and the ball gets over your head.
Not saying it's not extremely difficult as someone who caught pre-practice fair catch balls practicing for the kickoff return shield, I can tell you that.
Hey guys, Australian punter Mark Vassett here. Today I'm with Trey Cooley and Monty Montgomery, and I'm going to quiz them on some Aussie slang. Let's see how they do. Alright Monty, what are tracky dacks? Alright Trey, what are tracky dacks?
Pants.
What type of pants?
Sweatpants.
Sweatpants, you got it. Been doing his homework.
Okay.
What is a servo?
Server?
Servo.
Yeah, it's a company.
It's like it's a certain type of store.
Server.
Servo.
A bike.
No. Gas station. What is an esky?
Ski. Oh no. What?
No.
That's a bike.
No. Something you put like ice and drinks in.
A mug.
No.
Oh, like a slushy or something.
No. A cooler.
A cooler. Oh yeah. Like Eskimo. I got it.
Yeah. What is a sanger?
Beyonce. A singer.
Not a singer. Sanger. Man, that was a good sanger.
That ain't no help. The ghetto version of past tense of a singer.
No, you're pretty far off right now.
Food.
What type of food?
It's like a burger.
Close.
Cheesesteak.
No.
Help me out.
Sandwich.
Toss on the deflection by Jordan Travis. Mark Vassett will punt things away to Micah Pittman.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
This is another one I would decline because I think sometimes this is intentional to give the punter, Vassett, some extra room to land it down inside the 5-yard line.
Vassett, a one-time commitment to Michigan State, originally out of Melbourne, Australia. Graduated high school way back in 2014. Done a great job for the Cards. Pittman gets away from this punt. It caroms out of bounds inside the 10.
That's why you decline it right there.
Punt of 43. FSU gets it back after this.
Right there, every step that Isaac Martin made. Saw him earlier in the game, tracked down Cunningham. I don't see that much out of linebackers.
So Loach has been outstanding tonight. Derek McClendon's done a nice job over at that defensive end spot, number 9 for the Noles. Did want to clean up the fact I mentioned it was McClellan in the first half. Instead, it was McClendon. And McClendon has been a force at times.
That's a good punt.
Pittman spun out of bounds short of the 20. A punt of 56 and a return of 6 yards. Noles get it back when we come back.
And this is a prime example for Louisville also, is you've got such a big lead. Don't play sloppy football, because that's what's hurt them in these other games. And that's the only chance that South Florida will really have, unless they just find some explosive plays in their offense.
First time Louisville's had to punt in 5 drives. They punted on their first possession, but none since. So Mark Vassett getting ready to kick it deep to Sean Atkins. Atkins calls for a fair catch, drifting to his right, makes the grab at the 20-yard line. But next week, Louisville has to go to Boston College. Then they go to Virginia. Pittsburgh here. Wake Forest here. And then James Madison for their last non-conference game. That's not going to be easy.
No. And then Clemson.
And they finish with at Clemson, NC State here, and at Kentucky.
So you can see why it's one of those situations where you have to get going. And I think that's why this 1-2 mark in this game was so crucial for Louisville as well as South Florida. But Louisville was really like, hey, we have to play with a sense of purpose and urgency.
It's rare that you get to September and you say it's a must-win, but we got that sense yesterday talking to the Louisville coaches and staff and players.
Well, I will. I'll start back. I think, first of all, a lot of respect for South Florida and Coach Scott and his team. You know, what they did last week down in the swamp, you know, really handled Florida. I thought, you think about their running back had 150 yards, the quarterback rushed for over 100. You know, we wanted to come in here and stop the run, make them one-dimensional. And it started in practice on Tuesday. Our guys were very focused and very intent on having a good week of practice. Coming off a disappointing loss, with Florida State. And credit to them, because it's easy just to, still feel sorry for yourself and not want to come back in here and work and think, oh man, we're 0-2 in the conference, like what are we going to do? But to their credit, they came back in and worked hard and put together a really nice, complete game today. I thought defensively, we did not give up the big plays, and offensively and defensively, we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot as far as penalties go. We only had 5. The 2 of them were right there at the end. Chris Bell on a face mask, late hit on the kickoff team. So you're looking at 3 penalties throughout the whole day. We turned them over. Some really nice plays. When we stopped the run and made them try to think they got to try to get back in it, try to force the ball down the field. We got some interceptions. Finally got our first fumble today. And then offensively, not great on 3rd down, but we made up for it on 4th. We converted those 4th downs, and which enabled us to go down and score touchdowns. I thought we were pretty efficient in the red zone there. The one time we didn't get any points, we went for it on 4th down. Ordinarily probably would kick it on that. Brock threw a slant to Chris Bell, and so it was good to get a lot of guys in the game today. We played a lot of players, a lot of young guys got to play. I mentioned Chris Bell got his first catch. Bradley West got a catch. Grant Goodman got a carry there at the end. We're playing guys on defense that haven't played a ton. It was good to see the tackles spread out. I think Dorian Jones may have led us in tackles, but I think a lot of guys had production. Yaya had another good game. He's been playing really good this year on defense. Kicking game was very solid. We were a little concerned about 21 as a return guy, and Brock put it out of the end zone. I mean, he's done excellent this year with the touchbacks, which has been awesome. And then Mark Vassett's really punted the ball well. He punted again today, outstanding. I think over 44 average maybe. And so you got to be able to win those special teams. And so just
won the one-on-one matchup in the pass rush opportunity, get to him, and now they force a punt. Good series there from the D.
Mark Vassett will punt from the 41-yard line. JoJo Earl is the deep man at his own 10. End over end kick. And it'll bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Well, actually, it bounces out at the 1-yard line. What a punt. So Vassett pins TCU deep.
What a beautiful punt. And I know it's a little luck of the bounce right here. Look as it takes off and just inside the pylon. That's why the official stands right there. He knows exactly where it goes. He's looking on top of the pylon, and it's out inside the 1. How about that bounce? Wow.